I'm Aiman. Welcome back to Illinois Auto Repair videos. And in this video today, we're going to be talking about tires. So the reason that we're doing this video is because we're replacing the all-year tires on our Acura and our Civic with some new snow tires. And while we were replacing it, my mom was asking all kinds of stuff about tires. Well, I'll talk about those questions later in this video, but she asked my dad them. And you know how my dad's like. You ask him what time it is and he'll tell you how to build a clock. So he explained tires to me, and then I explained tires to my mom, because when my dad explains stuff to my mom, he goes very comprehensive and I have to translate it to my mom. And now my dad wants me to translate it to you guys and talk to you guys about tires. So this won't be a comprehensive video on tires. It'll just be a basic guide on everything. And because I'm getting my driver's license, woo! I really calm down. Because I'm getting my driver's license in a few months, my dad thought I should know all about tires. So let's talk about them. Alright, so first question my mom had: how do I know what size tires to use for my car? And of course, you can look online or use the manual for a car, but the best place to find what size tires to use for your car are on the car itself. So if we open the driver's side door and then we look on the inside right here, then we'll be able to see what type of tires to use. Now, these are mostly guidelines. You can actually customize the type of tires, like upsize or downsize, or use different sizes. What I'm saying is that you can customize the tires to be a bit around this range. But that's where you can find what type of tires to use for your car. Now on the Civic, you'll see this as well. If you open the door, you can see the same sticker on the inside of the door. Alright, so on those stickers you saw these weird numbers and letters, like 245, 55, R19. What do those mean? That was my mom's second question. And you can see on the tires themselves, they actually do have those symbols and letters and numbers. So right here we have 235/45 R17. And here's the quick rundown of each of them. First off, that first number, 235, or it could be 245 or whatever it might be, is the width of the tire in millimeters. So 235 millimeters is about 9.5 inches. So if we take a look at this tire right here, this is a bit hard to handle with some. Go ahead. Okay, so my dad checked it, and 235 millimeters is about 9.25 inches. But just to check it, this is a bit imprecise because we're using a tape measure, but you can see it's about 9.25 inches. And it's also used 235, so I can't use that as an example. But that first number refers to the width of the tire in millimeters. This second number, 45, is talking about, it's basically telling you the width of the tire right here, from the rim to the outside of the tire. But 45 is actually a percentage. It's an aspect ratio of the width of the sidewall, or the height of the tire, to the width. So if it's 235 millimeters in width, the aspect ratio would be 45% of it. The height would be 45% of it. A better word would be thickness, so that we don't confuse it with the width of the tire. Now, it's talking about the thickness from the outside of the tire to this flange right here, where the tire ends. And about visual of that would be from right here to the inside of the tire, right here. And let's say for this tire right here, this is 215 millimeters in width, which is about just a bit more than 8 inches. Oh wait, it's actually 8.5 inches, and it's 55% of 8.5 inches is about 4.5 or 4.6 inches. So if we measure that right now, this is going to be a bit hard with gloves. You can see that's about 4.5 inches. And this one might be a bit less accurate because the tire's been used, so it's a bit more bald. And you can see the same thing on this tire, but just for sake of time, we're not going to measure it. And going back to this one, 45% of 235 millimeters, or 9.25 inches, is about 4.5 inches. Or actually, no, it's 4.2 inches. Okay, that's where I got the confusion. So if you measure it, you can see it's just about that much, 4.2 inches. Now, on other cars, so this car has a 45% aspect ratio for the sidewall. On other cars, it might be higher, or it might be lower. See, for this one, you can see that it says 65. It has a much higher, a much thicker tire. On something like the Hyundai, let's see. Oh, it says 70, so that means that the aspect ratio is much higher. This is very thick compared to its width. Just to reuse the terminology, this thickness is called the sidewall. Now, a lower sidewall, which is usually under 55%, and some people say below 45%, it means that it's a low-profile tire. And low-profile tires are typically more expensive. And there are some other numbers on the tire. Let's get to this one. I'm sorry, Aurelia. I don't want you to distract from the video. First off is this R17. Now, the R isn't very important. It just refers to the construction of the tire. But the 17 is talking about the inner diameter of the tire, or the diameter of the rim that it goes on. So to measure that, we're going to use the flange of the rim, which is this inner part right here. That's 17 inches. So that's about 17 inches. And of course, it's important to have the inner diameter of the tire because you need to make sure that your tire matches the rim that you put it on. So a 17-inch tire has to go on a 17-inch rim. So my dad thinks it's very important, and I agree with him, to make sure that we're specific about the terms that we use. So first off, this entire thing right here is called a wheel, and the outer edge of it is called the rim. Before, when I was talking about 17, I was actually talking about the actual wheel diameter. And this is important because the diameter here of this entire wheel is 17. That's the overall wheel diameter. But the actual wheel diameter is that inner one, that one that flanges inwards. So from that distance to here, it's more so 16. So the actual wheel diameter here is 16 inches, not 17 inches. And because the rim is the outside, you could say that the rim diameter is 17 inches, while the actual wheel diameter is 16. So going back to this, just to reaffirm it, the actual wheel diameter of this is 17 inches. Not the overall wheel diameter, which is more closer to 18 and a half. Alright, so after that, for some tires, there's going to be a number and a letter at the end of this. So first off, this 97 here, this number, refers to the load that your tire can handle. And load just means the weight that it can handle. A higher number means that your tire can handle a higher weight. There's a chart that tells you how much weight a given number will tell you. So 97 doesn't actually refer to a specific like pounds or anything. It actually refers to a different weight. It's not 97, maybe it's like 1,000 pounds. But after that, the V, the letter, refers to the speed rating of your tire. So speed rating can be different. This one is V. This one is H. And those refer to the different speeds that your tire can run at comfortably. And for example, V means that the tire can run comfortably at 150 miles per hour, while H means that it can run comfortably at around 130 miles per hour. There's a whole chart that tells you what each letter means, and it's actually very funny because it goes in alphabetical order, and any letter that comes before the other one, like if A goes before B, that means it can handle a less speed. But H actually comes right before V, which is kind of weird. You'll see when you look at the overlaid table what I mean. So that's everything I know about the code on the tire. This just means the width of the tire. the height, the thickness of the tire, the diameter of the tire, and finally the speed and load rating of the tire. Another question that my mom had for my dad is, how do you choose between fat tires and skinny tires? Alright, so let me use a better choice of words. So a wider tire offers more stability than a thinner tire or skinnier tire. And another thing is contact. So the amount of contact that the tire has with the road, which means that it'll have more, the amount of grip that it'll have on the road is more with a wider tire than a thinner tire. So if you want to have more traction or more grip, then you want to use a wider tire. But another thing that you should consider is that, what if you're driving through snow? You want your tire to be thinner so that it can cut through the snow. So that means that a thinner tire would be better to use than a wider tire if you're driving through snow. Another thing people consider when they're buying tires is just how good it looks. Apparently, people view wider tires as more cooler looking than thinner tires, which I haven't driven a car myself, so I don't have an opinion on it just yet, but when I do, I'll let you guys know if I prefer wider or thinner tires. Another thing to consider is also snow and winter tires, but I'm actually going to talk about that in a separate video. I'm going to be talking about summer tires, winter tires, all year round tires, so if you're interested, go check that out. And in a separate video, we're going to be talking about the rims themselves, the wheels, sizing, and like that car has bigger rims than this car, and that one looks better. So I'll probably talk about that in a separate video because this one's already getting very long. So I'm Aiman, this is Irelia. Very welcome distraction for the video. And thanks for watching. Please like, comment, subscribe, and look at videos on EyeOnAiman, especially our videos on auto repair, and also the videos in this little series of segments on tires and wheels. And I'll see you there. But for now, signing out.